We are back with our friend Jason Craig. And Jason, tell everybody, give us the Reader's Digest version of what you do for anybody out there who doesn't know, anybody who's watching right now.
Is that like the big print Reader's Digest version?
Yeah,
or the
where
regular
you get three sentences to tell us what you do. The
Three
elevator
sentences.
pitch of Jason Craig.
I like to draw.
It's like a haiku.
I live
great.
in Augusta, and I'm a old head. I
Is
don't
this
know.
a?
You're a what?
Old head?
Old head?
Means I'm old.
Oh.
Elderly.
He's the
I thought it
elderly.
was like a
1
term for
foot.
like a fan of something, you know?
Yeah, old stuff. like CDs and
Hey, I still have a
Yeah.
VHS player.
yeah,
Yeah,
looking
but-
people in the eye, stuff
Yes.
like that.
Yeah, respect.
Handshakes. Yeah.
Jason, you did an impromptu talk this year.
Well, I was a last minute addition.
Okay.
So yeah, about a week ago, I was in between cruises, as it were.
Yeah.
And,
A
like,
classic,
in that,
yeah, classic
you-
Jason.
I mean, you can all relate to this. So, in that little span of time, I turned my phone on from airplane mode, and when I'd left, I'd been helping organize Ink Wars, and so I was like, I told Lenny, I was like, here's all I can do. I'm gonna be out. Figure it out. Just I trust you. Just
Yeah.
do the thing. And so I came back and I turned my phone back on. It's like, call us. And as I called him, like, you want me to talk? I was like, yep. I was like, about to get on a boat, though. See y'all later. And so I got back off the boat on Tuesday, and I was at Creative South on Wednesday. So
And you spoke
That's why you look-
yesterday, or
I spoke on the first day. I was the final speaker of the first day. And I wrote a brand new talk for it, made all my slides.
on the cruise?
No. I just thought about it on the cruise.
Yeah, got it.
I don't work on the cruise no matter what.
Good.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
thought about it on the cruise.
Well, okay, so you told me about something a few years ago, which is this idea of I'm going to decide the amount of work I need to do
Yes.
in this calendar year.
Yes.
And the second I finish it,
Right.
I'm done the rest of the year.
I'm really glad you brought that up because that was a horrible idea that I had.
Patrick's been
It was
living his life on
It
that.
was a horrible idea. So let me tell you how that worked out. On Christmas Day, I have a tradition where we go to Waffle House and do movies, right?
Okay.
I overdrafted my bank account at the movie theater buying my tickets.
Okay.
Because I had no money.
Yep.
Because I didn't do it right.
Okay.
I did. Apparently, it doesn't. Just because you met your goal doesn't mean that you
Have-
have money. I mean, and so I was like, I might want to rethink this retirement thing. So now I try to scatter that throughout the year, so it's not as painful, But yeah, that was a bad idea. I've had a lot of bad ideas on this trip.
You don't get lulled into this sense of security and
Yeah,
everything's
no.
fine and you're like, oh, need to work now.
Yeah, I mean the good thing about it though is when I have these ideas and I do them, I commit to them. I just
yeah.
need to maybe express to people hey, remember that thing I did? Yeah, don't do that. That was not
it's-
good.
The follow up.
Right. There needs to be
follow-up.
some follow up.
Okay.
That way, whenever somebody's like, "Are you still doing that?" Be like, "No, no."
oh,
not
I
at
just
all."
modeled my entire life after that.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't intermittently quit your job.
So I think it's important though because
How do you explain the gap in the resume?
Yeah, I just wasn't working.
yeah, I chose not
Yeah.
to. It wasn't in my life plan.
Yeah.
But you do have something about you that is unique to I think most people, which is this honest approach to things. You're very honest about what you do. You're very straightforward. You're very caring. It seems like you're very empathetic, but then also you make it seem so easy. Like you have a very cool and calm perspective. I can't imagine you ever getting stressed out, though I imagine it probably happens.
It does.
When you overdraft your account on Christmas, that probably was a moment where it was slightly stressful.
Right.
But you present yourself with an air of confidence, so people, when you speak, people listen because people want to have that sense of, even if it doesn't feel true to you,
Yeah.
this sense of security and this sense of confidence. How do you manage? How do you balance that with people's expectations of you versus
Right.
the reality that you know to be true?
Right. It's difficult sometimes, and I'm learning as I do get older that if you just kind of stick to those rules, if you like for instance, I really don't want to. I don't work for myself, so I can work till 2 a.m. or all weekend. I want to have those same bank hours. I want to have the same kind of job that a teacher would have.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be I'm this is all he does is work, and his work
You
is
don't
good.
want to be the
but
boss that
I don't-
overworks yourself.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to overwork myself. I want it to be a real job, and so it does get difficult because it is stressful. I don't have any retainer clients.
Yeah.
I'm all project based.
Wow.
And the only thing that I
terrifying.
can really
Yeah.
the only thing that I can depend on is that my clients like me enough that whenever we're done working together, that they
They'll recommend you.
can't wait. And that they
Yeah.
can't wait to work with me again.
Yeah.
And I have so many clients that are way out of my league. And the reason that they hired me is because someone they trust told them to.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like that. If those relationships, like as you like over deliver, and I mean, you saw my sketches, you see what I promised. Like I just do a sketch, and I was like, it's gonna look like this, it's gonna be great, and they're like, well, I assume it'll be better than that. You know, like I set the bar so
These are stick
low.
figures, guy.
Yeah, I set the bar so low, and then I will, you know, I do like work hard to make sure that I do the job well, and so I had a grandpa that just, you know, I grew up with him, like never met a stranger type of person, you know, and it's like I just watched him. You know, you'd go into a restaurant with the guy, and there'd be a waiting list of like there'd be 50 people, and he would walk in, and like the manager would be like, oh, Gary, come here, and we just walk through. It's embarrassing sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like those skills. Like I literally did that yesterday. I those
You
same
are your
skills
grandpa.
I use.
Yeah.
I wish I was my grandpa, you know, because he taught me so much, and he's still around doing this stuff, you know.
Hell yeah.
And so it was just the way that I was brought up, to be very personable. The honesty part of it, to me, it's just like I have a really good memory, and I don't want to fill it with keeping up with whatever story I've told with you know,
Sure.
whatever thing that I've tried to project. I don't want to have to like always segment it and be like, okay, well, how does this person know me? You know, do they know I have a family? Do they know I have kids? Do they know that, you know, I work for a nonprofit? Do they know, you know, I just tell the truth.
Yeah.
And then it makes it so much easier because then you don't have to keep track of whatever you told people.
Sure.
You know, it's just the
Yeah.
truth. And sometimes the truth changes.
Yeah, which is fine. I need to know if you came into Ink Wars knowing what you were going to draw.
No, I didn't. I had no idea.
So the moment you got the prompt,
Yeah.
and listen,
you know
your
brainstorming
pencil started
them?
immediately.
Yeah.
Like you didn't even take a breath, and you were sketching on that canvas.
Yeah.
That's all top of your head.
Yes. As like making it up as I go.
You are wildly impressive.
It's
So-
Yeah.
infuriating.
Well, no,
he knew what
but
he
here's
was
the
going to
thing.
do,
and
and
they're
he's
still lost.
Here is why like I'm so like confident with that part of it.
Yeah.
Because after all these years, like when I worked for an agency, and I would have like review meetings, and they'd say the biggest problem that they had with me is that other people could not duplicate what I was doing. You know, like if you're gone, your job just stops. Like nobody can do it like you're doing it, right? Doesn't mean that nobody else can design. Doesn't mean that nobody else can,
Yes.
you know, do that. They just couldn't do it my way,
Right.
And a big part of that was that I always used to like. I never wanted anybody to see my work. I just wanted everybody to think it just magically appered. Like,
Wow,
oh,
yeah.
this
I
guy does
relate
it so
to
easy.
this.
Right. and I realized that what happened is that whenever you're not showing your work, you're allowing this like stress and anxiety to creep in because like the client doesn't hear from you. Like, what is he doing? I'm seeing pictures of him on a cruise. He's not working on my stuff.
Yeah.
You know, when I started doing these sketches and like these top of mind things, it made it so that, you know, you can just quickly just snap like thought paper, and you can just go and you train yourself to just get better and better at it to where you give a prompt and it's like, boom, let's go. And you can't fail. Like Ink Wars, you can't fail. There's no fail. It's impossible to fail. If you just got up there and just drew a check mark and be like, oh, I'm done. I was like, I did Ink Wars.
Yeah.
I might not win, but I had fun doing it and everybody cheered
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was awesome. And so like once you can kind of like not even like it's like Bob Ross. It's like impossible to fail because you're doing it.
Right.
You know, like, oh, I made a line. That's a tree now.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes years of like just not worrying about whatever the alternative is. You know.
I will say my wife did text me. So I was like Mackenzie couldn't make it, but I was trying to film so she could watch and all that kind of stuff while it was happening. And she was texting me asking like who won. And my response, instead of saying who won, was that Jason wasn't in the top 3. And her response,
Cut through the chatter.
yeah, and her response, and apologies for anybody with small children, was what in the literal fuck?
Yeah.
And you know, and that's like that's one of those things where like I never want to be that guy. I remember like whenever Tiger Woods started playing golf, and the headline was like, it was never who won, it was whatever he placed.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of made me like despise that thought that it's like I'm only here to see this guy succeed.
Yes.
I succeeded like crazy, and
Yeah.
the happiest moment is seeing Joseph win that thing.
Yeah.
Because it means so much to him, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's such a great thing. And like, I had somebody come up to me and they're like, "Who do you think won?" And I was like, or no, they said, "Who do you want to win?" I was like, "I want me to win."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Duh. I already said in my talk, I like awards.
Yeah.
You know, I love winning stuff.
I asked you
know?
ahead of time. I said, "What's some advice?" Because I'm going up there with you. You're like, "I'm competing too. I'm not giving you
Yeah,
advice."
I'm not gonna tell you what to do.
Do
Yeah. So
Tell you later.
So I was like, well, do you want to know what I think from a judging standpoint? And like, yeah, I was like, as a judge, I'd pick Joseph's, and I had a whole, I could tell everybody why,
Yeah.
you know, and they were like, well, I mean, that wasn't even in my top 3.
Really?
that's what he said.
That's
It was
funny
like
because
not
I was
even top
talking to
3.
people in the crowd, and I picked his, and they were all saying like,
Yeah.
"Oh, really?
No.
That one?" I'm like, "No,
No, he
it's
did a
'cause it
great
has a whole
job,
competition."
and I, you know, I know it's too late whenever people see this, but like that guy is doing some cool stuff down at his booth. He's got that poster with like it's like a Where's Waldo poster with everybody on it.
That is such a
Have you
good
seen it?
poster.
No, not yet.
It's
It
the
is-
coolest thing
it's
here.
really
It's the coolest
good.
thing here. He sent it to me a couple weeks ago when I asked him to do Ink Wars. So yeah, that's another thing. I'm the one that found him to do Ink Wars, and then he whooped all our asses. And I stared at this poster for like 2 days, and I sent it to everybody, and I
It's
just
so
I
cool
bought
'cause
5 of them.
Yeah.
You're trying to
You
like
know?
figure out who everybody is, and
Yeah.
it's really good.
And it's so easy. You just like, oh, there I am.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And see, so
I
for
found Doc
me,
instantly.
so
Yeah.
for me, you know, that thought that like, what, you know, why didn't Jason win? Like that's what y'all. That I appreciate that. That's how y'all think. But for me, like, I look at that poster that Joseph did, and I can't believe I'm on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the coolest thing that
Yeah.
I'm on there. So
Well,
I
I
mean,
think it's a testament to the impact that you've made in this community, right? And as much as this community maybe has done for you, what you have given back to it
Mm-hmm.
is, I mean, you're one of my favorite people to see whenever these things come around, and you're in at all of the things,
Yeah.
right? And there was a brief period where I thought we might be living next to one another, and
Yeah.
that was the happiest day of my life.
Aw.
Yeah. He cried
Immediately
for weeks,
followed-
just so you know.
Immediately
Oh.
followed by the fact that you said you weren't coming.
Yeah.
But like, I think that's a testament to what you have brought to the community, and you're always so fun on top of that, and it's something that I think for me and the kind of personality that I have, I would aspire toward. I think I'm more neurotic than you are. I think I'm like higher like stress level than you, but still try to project that.
Yeah.
And yours just feels like it just comes so naturally that it makes me sick.
Let's play a game before
Yeah.
we run out of time.
nice.
Lauren's gonna put out some tokens.
I've done this before.
You've done it before. You're gonna pick one, and you're gonna tell us something about whatever you flip over. Just tell something new, fun, noteworthy, exciting.
This is harder than Ink Wars. I swear.
because you can fail in this.
I can
Yeah.
fail on this. I can fail on this. Okay, so we're gonna take.
yeah.
We're gonna pick,
We also love the olden days, which means we believe in horrible failure.
right.
So,
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We're gonna pick this one. Food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Food.
All right. You got this.
And all I do is just tell you something about.
tell us
tell you
something
about something,
about
food.
food that's
Anything.
exciting in
That's
your world.
exciting in my world. So I have a group of friends. I went to one of these charity auction things where they were auctioning off art and stuff. And there was this thing, and it was you could buy these 2 chefs come to your house and cook for you, right? Yeah,
That'd be amazing.
They're our friends that cook. You
They
know.
were terrible chefs, but yeah.
No, yeah,
No.
no. So
it's honestly nice anytime someone makes you a home cooked dinner.
So
I don't
I-
care how bad it is.
it is, yeah. So I immediately dubbed that sexy chefs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're like, no, just we're gonna cook for you. I was like, cool, yeah, sexy chefs come over, and we're gonna have sexy chef dinner. And some friends of ours came over and they cooked for us, and it was really cool. You know, they used our pots and pans and stuff, and it was like really fun. Well, that evolved into this thing where now we have like themes, and we do it at different people's houses. So we had like a Cuban theme at my new house, and like we'd make like all just like authentic stuff and get people together and do that, and like we'll like play dominoes or cards or something, and we base that around that sexy chef concept, and it's a reason for like this little group of us to get together, and even as we've moved, like,
Yeah.
we travel and go to their houses so we can do sexy chefs. So
Yeah.
I love it.
that's my
I
food
do like a
story.
potluck movie night with my friends. It's themed around the movie, and it's like
It's-
the
it's-
most fun thing.
it's
'cause,
just
I
like
love
that.
hanging out with everybody.
And it's so funny because everybody shows up and he's like, "Why do you call it sexy chefs?" And it's like, Ain't we six?
You got a
Why
better
wait?
name?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll find out when I cook.
Yeah. There's nothing scandalous about it. But it's just-
Well,
yeah, it's fun.
we could talk to you for hours. There was talk of
Days.
potentially a filibuster.
Yes.
Um,
Marathon.
But all of the people who are lining up to get in the seat after you would appreciate that not happening.
That's
but
true.
we will
That's
continue
true.
to be friends, whether you're sitting
We
in this
will.
hot seat or not.
I've done the hot seat in 3 states. 4.
Yeah.
Ooh.
4
Or,
states.
yeah. I think you're our most
states.
traveled hot seater.
I'm just
See-
everywhere. I'm like gum on the bottom of a seat. I'm just everywhere
Oh,
you go.
He's here, huh? He's
Show-
In our
show
like
the ring.
5 timers club. or
Show the
whatever.
No,
ring.
show the rings. So what's the
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
no,
my
the
rings.
Jason one. The
Oh, the,
the
Dr.
Jason
Doom
one.
one's
This is
cool too, though.
Yeah. I gotta. Yeah. All these rings are this is my true like. This is where the confidence comes from. I put on
Yeah.
these rings. It's like a buffer between me and everybody else.
yeah.
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 I don't get that because I don't have any rings. But
Get
like,
you some rings. I
Yeah.
always
Okay,
wanted them.
deal.
Like growing up, I was like, I want to be a guy that can wear rings.
Yes.
no, I get
Now
that.
my wife's like, you got too many rings.
Why no pinky ring?
That's weird.
I'm
No,
just
just kidding.
not. I'm just not there yet.
You just have
I'm
weak
just,
pinky.
I'm just not
He's
there
still
yet.
building his confidence.
Yeah, I gotta have balance.
He's got to like grow his
Yeah.
superpowers and level up
Fair.
to
Yeah,
the pinky.
center of gravity.
Yeah.
Tell everybody where they can follow you and
Oh my
see all the
gosh,
things you're doing.
I was promised a lot of followers if I did this talk and came
You
here.
are gonna
so
get. It's
I
gonna
need-
be booming.
I need at least like
At
20,
least 4.
At least 4. At least 4 followers. Jason the 29th, and then on Instagram and LinkedIn, hit me up. I love LinkedIn.
And you
It's my
pop into
bread and butter.
the Slack channel every now and again.
I lurk.
So.
I just lurk. on
You're a-
that thing.
you're a
I lurk.
lurker.
on there. I see. I lurk and I see. Okay, Russ Pate already responded. I can get back out.
Yeah.
That's how it usually goes. JasonThe29th.com or CrunkFriday.com.
Love it.
Sweet.